Everybody, this is Elizabeth from Silvernest Homeschooling, mama for homeschooling 3. The oldest is grown up, graduated, and adventuring, and the second is off to college here in our hometown for her final 2 years of high school. The third and fourth are enjoying school in a hybrid program, and so that means that they are doing some things with me and some things that they're hybrid. And so one of the things we are doing at home for my 7th grader is the gather round curriculum that is covering our main spine for our science. But I'm also teaching her history at home. And so this particular month we are able to combine the two with what is got to be one of my absolute favorite middle school, high school curriculums that they have put out, which is the Rennasaince and Revival. We're only 1 week in, and I am so impressed and so blessed by the things we are learning. They are going through the history of the Renaissance, but they're also talking about various revivals that have happened throughout time. And that has been great for us as we have been doing the search for different revivals with this particular child for about 3 or 4 years now. We went through God's Generals for Children, and that whole series has just blown her mind. And she's actually dug it back out and is reading it again. But every single unit, except for I think the first one, actually covers a different time period with a different revival that isn't just in the Renaissance. And so that's been great. We are also using this book, which I don't know if you've seen these before. They have an overlay, so you can see inside the ship. I grabbed a bunch of these this year. They're not her favorite. She would not recommend these as much just because she's done a lot of history, and she said the information is solid, but it's laid out in a slightly more boring way, though she does really like the way the overlays look. So the see-through history, good, but not her favorite. She'd rather read something else, but she is reading them. So we're also using this engineering book for our revival. What we've done is gone back to the very beginning, so that my science class can also have some history mixed in. And so she's going through and learning about different basic history, science concepts with the focus on engineering. She will read 1 through 30, and that will be her unit for this year in this. So we're trying to combine and have one of the techniques for making information stick is combining it with a core memory that is fun, and so, or it has an emotion attached to it. So hopefully by having some more history, she can hang some of the knowledge that she's learning on that history tree. We're also using a book called E=mc², I think, which is a history of the various scientists since the beginning of time. So we've gone over Thales, Plato, Socrates, Pythagoras. They are touched on at the beginning of this book and then go in. And so we'll finish with Galileo. Not reading a whole bunch out of that book, but it is really good since she hasn't gone necessarily through those so specifically, like what do they believe? How is that different than the Bible? How is it similar? Why do people get confused? Why do people still use their methods to teach today? So we're just having a lot of really good conversations about that. Also, she read a book, Choose Your Own History Adventure on the Harlem Renaissance. And again, we're talking about why is it called a Renaissance? How does that work with things? And then the other book we've been looking through, again, just short for visual, is the My Family Tree. And so we've gone through the Medici family. It kind of, again, helps to give some more clarity and depth. We're not reading super deep into these because we are doing other things as well. She's also finishing Men of Science, Men of God, Great Scientists Who Believe the Bible. They're very short, little biographies of different people who studied science and also God's Word. And then on top of that, she'll also be reading Nzinga, because it's in the time period, 1595. And she also did read the story of Queen Elizabeth in the same series. And then we've been playing with some Gravitrax as we're learning about the engineering and the way things move, which has been really, really fun. We have a whole big set, and these are the 2 that they got added to for this unit. They're over there. But anyway, we like Gravitrax because you place them together on this mat, and then you're learning as you're building. It's a marble maze that you can build high and then have go low, and just kind of neat. Especially if you can find it secondhand. The other thing we've been doing is playing some board games. So Histrio, this particular one we played yesterday, and she loved it, so we ended up playing it twice. You are in the wonderful time of Shakespeare, which we are going to move on to soon in the unit, and she's also done some Shakespeare stuff with me over the summer with our theater class. And so the idea is that you're traveling around to different cities. These are animals representing actors, putting on your shows and trying to please the king. And so you're changing, does the king want a comedy or a tragedy? And yeah, it's just fun. Just a fun way to, create a core memory to hang this lesson on. We also watched Romeo and Juliet, something over the break. So just here and there, sprinkling in some amusement along with our actual school. And so it's been good. I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying the other games that we're hoping to play. We have some more just checking through history. We have Las Islas, which is about going and searching for things that have now become extinct. We did a little moment on Magellan and Columbus. So yeah, great. Just to give you an idea, we have the Renaissance, Medici's, Donatello, Age of Exploration, Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael, Henry VIII, Deciduous, Erasmus, Martin Luther, William Tyndale, and Copernicus. And it actually has 20 lessons. So then it keeps going to Catherine de' Medici, Queen Mary I, Religious Wars, Giorgio Vasari, William Shakespeare, Galileo, King James, and Turning the Page. So we are about, like I said, probably 4 lessons in, and it's just been really solid. They do have some verbiage for the younger kids in case they're all doing this as a group that gets a little bit repetitive for us. So I just kind of skim some of the stuff and simplify down to the meat. But I like the writing style, but some of it definitely was written for a younger child. And honestly, I wouldn't recommend this for younger than middle school. Maybe an older 6th grader would be fine, 5th grader potentially. But I think the information is just so good, but not as easy necessarily to grasp for some of the younger grades. I'm really glad we waited till now. Psychology, I love the psychology unit as well, and the botany unit. Those have been amazing for middle school. All right, I hope that was helpful as you see where we are headed this month. I find it very important for me personally, just a side note, to have something new and fun for January, because in January it's about the time we want to quit. We don't want to do anything anymore, and so that's partly why I discovered Gather Round, because we needed something fresh and new for the new season. All right, talk to you soon.